It's expensive, but it's good. It's a Panera over there. That's different. They ain't got no specials.
Panera never have specials.
They do.
Hello,
They used to have
happy,
the pizza and sandwich thing.
happy. That's
I
not
mean,
special.
flatbread and half flatbread, half
That's
sandwich.
still ain't. That's,
Ain't a special.
mm-mm.
What that called?
Ha-
I'm saying what it's called, but they call it special. What you call it? Tell me.
happy Thursday, guys. Lord, just figure out what you want. Okay, that's
Happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday.
oh my Lord, that sounds really bad.
That sounds good. What you talking about? You hate. You're a hater, man.
I can
I need to be on The
tell.
Voice.
The you know what? What you gonna be on?
The Voice.
The voice of what, baby?
The future. The the best voice. Any of the voices.
The voice of the future. Come on in the room to the voice of the future.
Yeah. Somebody sent me a thing. Somebody they thought they would listen to young Teddy Pendergrass. You know what I'm saying? When he was with Harold Melvin then in the Blue Notes.
Who said that?
Young Teddy.
Who? No, who said that?
Come on and go with me.
I'm asking again. Who sent that?
Come on over to my place.
Mm-mm. I'm not sure who sent you that, but
They weren't being honest. uh-huh.
they were not telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Again, I don't know why it always sounds like you got some hating going on.
Is that what I'm doing?
I don't know. It's
Is
just,
it exactly what you're taking from this
that's what
hate?
it sounds like. I mean, I can't say with 100% certainty, but it feels like, it smells like, it looks like.
Feels like, smells like, look like.
They say if it quack like a duck,
Affleck?
it's probably a duck.
Is that what it is?
Probably.
You know what? So how's everybody's Thursday going? Hey Dre. How
Trey,
is
what you say?
are,
What's up, partner?
are you Jesse Jackson tonight? Because he is rhyming ridiculously right now. Everything is a rhyme.
I ain't been rhyming.
What you been doing, baby?
Uh,
Hmm?
Big Pimpin' Spinning Cheese.
Yeah. Is that what we at, baby? Hmm. Help us. He talking about what up, friend. Something wrong with Cedric. He is on his Jesse Jackson rhyme right now. I don't know what that is about, but
Again, sound like it's some hating in your spirit. Cause this me.
baby, stop doing
It's
that.
back Florida, baby. We're
So
again, why
ignorant.
you hate all the time, man?
Ain't nobody hating on you that mess you
Golly.
doing.
Don't that get
Come
tiring,
on in,
exhausting?
tap the screen,
Hey,
share.
son, call him, do something. Go on, man.
Sir won't attention. He hasn't been knocking the stuff down. He ain't studying y'all. So let us know when you come in the room, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you may be watching from. Tell us where you're from.
Richmond Heights, Florida. You just saw that. I put it up there. You won't leave it on the screen because you're a
No,
hater.
no, I'm not a hater, but we're not gonna put that on the screen. Say hello, invite somebody.
That big Mike at? Put Richmond Heights in that big Mike.
He's not here yet. You see, it's like anything
What the
else.
rest of my Richmond Heights people? Y'all put that on there for me.
No, nobody from Richmond Heights is here. They don't respect you.
You know, they be in the building. We always in the building.
Richmond Heights is not here. Okay, not.
Who's not
Anyway,
here?
how has your week? Hey, Miss Blessed. So listen, tell us how your week has gone thus far. Just give us a update. Listen, give us an emoji of where you are right now, where you are emotionally today, mentally today. What give me your best emoji. Let me see if I can find me emoji.
Emojis. Don't we have some customized ones? Customized ones.
What? Come up to my what?
I know, right?
Don't tell you what language that sound like. Don't do that because
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You want me to do that?
No, don't do that.
I never got you.
Oh, look at Miss Bless. She got an upside down. Lord, Cedric got some eyeballs. She got an upside down smiley face. I don't know what that. I don't know what that is. Wow. Upside down emoji. Yeah, come on, tell us where you are in emoji. I think sometimes that's hard because sometimes you be in between a few places in your life. You don't know what to do.
All right.
Look, Dre got the wild face. Look, Dre, you just got all wows. That's where you at. Wows at O. Look.
Yeah, I got one.
Oh Lord, Cedric done put a bomb.
Blown up.
You been blown up today, baby?
Not today.
I said how you feel right now. Baby, don't just go put random. This is how you can't follow. That's why you can't follow random instructions. My husband just came in. I said, "Tell us how you're feeling." Thank you so much for the love. I said, "Tell us how you feel in emojis. How are you feeling right now emotionally in emojis?" My husband done put eyes. He put a bomb. He put a phone.
The black phone.
And what's the last thing? Anchor?
It's a hook. You got your hooks in me.
Oh my Lord. Anyway, oh Lord Jesus.
I got that one.
Cedric, stop putting now you're just playing with emojis.
I puzzled. You say how I'm feeling emotionally, I just put it in there.
So Matrimony Connections, I like that name. Dre got money on it. You been getting money? Is that what you're doing?
Get money.
Dre getting money. Well, I ain't mad at you for getting money, honey, because that's what we out here trying to live. So
listen, my wife do not like when I participate.
No, you're not participating. You're just putting. I said, tell us how you feel in an emoji. You have put 20 emojis, and when I said you had a bomb, I said, "Are you been blown up?" I said, "You said not today."
I said that today. I was blown.
I said, "How do you feel right now?"
So I put the hooks, and you didn't like that.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We won't be before you long because my husband is on something else right now. I don't even know how to have a conversation with this young man without him doing the most. What you doing, baby?
It doesn't work. My personal life.
It won't. It's not gonna go in there, honey.
Why not?
Because it's not.
I want it.
What is it working? He is hitting his phone screen. So anyway, we were just coming to show a little love. I know we always have topics. Today has been one of them days where life has definitely been lifing.
Straight up.
Hey, Glam. Life has been lifing. I know I'm using that term. Glam, the mission is to put how you feel right now in an emoji. So I ask that questions because we oftentimes one of the songs that we did Sunday was oh Shonda, why you crying, baby? What's going on? Shonda got crying emoji. There's a song that we did Sunday and it was called No More Pretending. And the words of the song said, I can look good. Oh, I'm so sorry, Shonda. I know that's rough. I'm sorry, baby. I know that's rough. The name of the song is No More Pretending, and the song says, I can look good when I want to. I know the right things to say. I cover up what I don't want you to see. And we're talking about God, but you see it anyway. And the whole song is basically saying that we've learned how to pretend that we're okay when we're not okay. We learn how to 33 years of marriage. I'm so sorry, Shonda. We've learned how to play a game that we're okay when we know that we're not. And so the reason I asked for everybody to put an emoji of how you're feeling, because sometimes it's easier to put a picture as opposed to saying, I'm sad, I'm broken, I'm hurt, I feel alone. You got as a man and a woman. So matrimony connections. I see a man and a woman. What does that mean for how you feel? You feel married? what you feel? Because sometimes we feel married.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm saying is that we sometimes are not honest with ourselves, but we're also oftentimes not honest with each other. What was that?
Oh.
King and queen energy. I love it. I love it. So, we often are not honest with each other. And I know women are a lot of times more honest with our emotions, or we're more vocal with them. But what do you do, Cedric, when you feel a way that may not be okay for men to say that they feel?
As far as what?
Like, so I ask everybody to, when you come in, put an emoji for how you feel emotionally right now. So not every other time, right now. And so we've had everything from upside down, confusion, wows, woes, everything. What do you like? Okay, in the time that you don't feel, it's not popular for a man to say he's sad or he's beat down or depressed or he's overwhelmed or he felt defeated.
Right.
In those days when you feel like that, how do you express that to me, or do you?
I don't.
Hey, son. McLovin, I don't see anything come up. It's just blank.
I don't express that. Some of the times you'll be like, well, what's going on?
Hey, look this way because I can't see your face. So what now, baby?
Some of the times you just ask me what's going on with me, and we'll go from there. But I don't ever be like, maybe I'm feeling beat down.
But why would you not, though? If we're partners, if this is a partnership,
that's just not something that men do too much. Some men do that, but that's not. We don't express our emotions readily. Like sometimes that may be the case, and I may not even have acknowledged that in myself. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Like I may not know that that's where I am at that point. I may just be living. You get what I'm saying?
So has there been times that I picked up on something in you that you hadn't kind of?
Well, I just hadn't really put any energy or thought about it or whatever. But yes, from time to time, and I'd be like, well, maybe I am.
So McLovin said, no, we can't. But so here's my thing. And I ask everybody to put an emoji for how you feeling. My son put a smiley face, so I guess he's feeling good. I get that you don't always feel, men are not able to share readily.
Well, it's not that they're not able to share. It's not something that I guess we've been trained to do or know to do. That's more, women are more like, what's your emotions? How do you feel? That kind of thing.
Well, wow, Sean put some poop.
A poop with a smiley face? Happy poop?
Happy poop. Okay. It's poop, though. I just want you to know it's poop. Okay, go ahead. What did you say? You were saying that you're not trained to say that, whatever.
Right.
Okay, Matchroom says men are really hesitant on showing weakness out of fear of losing respect by female mates, and that's true. But
it may not always be that. It just may feel they may not feel that the woman actually cares about that kind of thing, because women don't always ask men about how they feel emotionally. Most times when they ask men about stuff, it's about them and how it affects them, how they feel. It's not the man per se. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, how are you doing right now? That's not what women say. It's like, when you did such and so, it made me feel such and so. Why can't you just communicate? Or why can't you get what I'm saying? It's not like
right.
In that space, why would I feel comfortable telling you I don't feel like you care anyway? You know what I mean?
McLevin said we've been betrayed too many times, so we keep it to ourselves. So how do we, or is there a way to unring that bell?
Yes, it just takes time and effort, and it's something that has to be done intentionally by both parties, I believe.
Now, I ask you regularly, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Well, but people ask that all the time, but they don't really. That's like when you see somebody, like, hey, how you doing? They don't really want.
But when you do it, I'll say, babe, what's going on?
I know between us, I'm just saying, just because someone says that though doesn't mean that they care about how you doing. What I'm saying.
Okay, and I get it, but
I'm actions that have to be along with that. Just asking.
Thank you, Matron. He's saying great topic. I get that. I'm just saying, how do we get better with that? Because like when I ask you, you know that I want to know.
Well, as I just said, it's something that has to be intentional from both parties. The guy has to be, okay, I need to be cognizant of how I feel and I need to express it. And the woman has to be asking in earnest and actually, you get what I'm saying? It's a two-pronged approach. It can't just be the guy trying to do it and then the girl like, okay, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's especially with something that's not innately in you to do. So it has to be I don't want to seem crass, but it's just like when you get a dog to do something you want to do, you give him a treat. It's that kind of thing. You don't fuss at the dog when you do something you want to do. So it's the same kind of principle when the man does something that he hasn't been trained to do and you want him to do, then it has to be a reward or, has to be beneficial, I guess.
Right. Okay. We don't usually open it up as early as this, but I would like to hear, Matrimony Connection, I don't know if you can come up. McLovin, I don't know if you can come up. I'm going to open it up because I want to talk to men. Glam, of course, you can come to the box if you like. You know how I feel. But I want to hear how we can make you feel more comfortable to show a side that is not popular to show. Is that the best way to say?
Well, it's something that happens organically over time when the trust increase. When I trust you, then I feel comfortable sharing things with you. If I don't trust you, I'm not going to share nothing with you, no matter how long we've been together.
Right. I get it.
So it's not something that you have to necessarily force per se, but it's organic. It happens naturally over a period of time. And sometimes it happens faster with certain people than others. Because like the Kevin said, the comedian Kevin Hart said that, it made me feel so comfortable.
That's Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, yeah. Made me feel so
comfortable. Right.
So when you feel comfortable, you start sharing things.
Right. Okay.
Makes sense?
Yes. Hey, Glam, how are you? I don't know if I can hear you. Okay. I'm sorry. How you doing? I hear you now.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
How are you?
I'm good. I messed this up. Anyway, McLovin, of course, is on
I love that name. McLovin. It's my favorite.
Anyway, I know that it's not easy for men to express how they feel, The question, first of all, if you are here, I would like for you to drop in your comments how you feel in an emoji currently. But what we start talking about is men and how they feel, and men how they feel, and how did I word it, babe?
How do you get men to share how they feel when they're feeling downtrodden or whatever the situation is?
Right.
We're trying to get men to do better, be better.
Right. We want men to open up to their emotions. And, I know there's a fine line between a man saying how they feel and being sensitive. Is there such thing as too sensitive? All these different aspects. I don't know. The question, actually, I asked Cedric, does he feel comfortable sharing how he feels emotionally?
Yeah, I feel comfortable.
Well, no. Well, I said when you come home when you had a rough day.
Mm-hmm.
How did I word it? When I say you have a rough day,
you said, "How do I communicate that to you?"
Or do you communicate that?
I say I don't. You ask me some of the times about whatever, but I don't.
About whatever.
Right. I'm saying you like, oh, what's going on with you? You don't whatever. You don't look, feel the same, whatever. I said when I come home, I'm not like, babe, I've had the roughest day of all times. No, I don't say that.
Who said you say that now? You doing the most.
I've been blown up.
Okay, so
That's facts right there.
But listen, but why? If you I know if you're dating, it might be difficult. And I'm sorry, Facebook, I realize if you're on my personal page that I might not be able to see your comments in real time. I do see Tico wrote something, said they ain't got one from mine. Facts. And then Donald, okay, so my question is, if you're in a relationship with someone that you're committed to, that you love, why wouldn't you feel comfortable? Like you said, you don't say anything. You said I'll ask you, but
in our case, it's not about feeling comfortable. That's just not something that I do. That's all. It's not comfort or discomfort. Because if you ask me, that's a dog. Okay. If you ask me, I'll share with you. Because if I didn't feel comfortable, even if you ask, I wouldn't share.
But you don't always share. Sometimes I have to pull teeth. I have to pull all your teeth.
Because sometimes it's not worth talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happened, it's over with. So, you know what I mean? It's on to the next. It's not always, everything is not always conversation worthy, if that makes sense.
I do. I get it.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's why you like, well, babe, okay.
So is there such thing as a man being too emotional? Dre, you can come up.
I'm sure
a man being too.
It is, but that varies.
Antonio, can you come up? We talking about men sharing their emotions, feeling confident enough to share with their wife.
That varies to each relationship.
I don't know, Antonio, if you can come up. I want to hear from men more than anything, if it's all possible. Because the thing about it is that Donald says every man is different. You have to know your man. And I agree with that. You do have to know your man. But the problem is men have men get depressed too. Men, hey Tia, men get depressed too. Men get down too. Men feel defeated too. And a lot of times we as women, sometimes we don't pay attention. So we don't recognize the signs when we need to. And so we don't recognize the signs. And the other part of it is that when we do see the signs of our man being something is wrong with him, when we ask him what's wrong, we just kind of let go without saying much. Tia, is your husband around? Because I would love to. We talking about men and their emotions and sharing. I don't know if you're able to get your husband.
No, I can't. But oh my God, literally just went through this conversation with him this morning, and I'm telling you, what he told me was this. He said, well, sometimes, and this is something that I have to work on. He said, sometimes women fail to really listen to what he's saying and not use what he's saying or turn what it is that he's saying, depending on the way that he's saying or whatever the delivery is. It's not about us.
Okay, so listen. He said Cedric said that earlier, but I want to. I'm not taking away from you. Sit on the panel, Tia. I need to hear from some of these men because I need to know how we can do better as women to recognize the signs, not use what they say against them, not call them weak, or call them all these other names, but to know that we're actually there for them. You get what I'm saying? So, McLovin, Dre, Antonio, somebody tell us something.
What's up, y'all?
Hey,
how y'all doing? So for me, it's not a trust thing.
Hey, Juju.
But it is. You know what I mean? Like whenever you share really what you're going through, not only is it a moment of weakness for a man, but it's also generally not heard, and it's probably going to be used against you in a time of anger.
How do you use? How does one? And I'm not saying that. I'm asking questions because I'm sure somebody else wants to know, like I do. How does a woman use you having a bad day or being down or whatever against you? What is a possible scenario where some woman can use your emotional state against you?
I can give you just a very simple example. Like say, for instance, I'm complaining about my job.
Thank you, Adrian.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
In an argument, it might become you always, that women can use harsher words than complaining, right? But it'll be like I'm a crybaby, or it'll be something harsh about that complaint.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I feel that.
It's going to turn it into something else. Right. Where I'm just saying, look, I'm just sharing how I feel about it. This guy is in my way. I'm trying to be promoted. They got me training this guy that's beneath me or beneath my qualifications. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could just be stressed about work or life in general. But when it's turned around through anger, through an argument, then she just turns that into something totally else, and make me seem much weaker in the moment.
Wow. So Dr. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you finished.
Yeah. I mean, and if for me, it wouldn't. Only thing it's gonna make me do is not tell you nothing else. It's not gonna really make me feel weaker or anything like that. But it is gonna make me say, nah, I don't
want to share.
No more sharing.
Yeah.
All right. So
no more sharing.
Let me read some comments real quick before we go to other people. Okay. So Dr. Courageous says men are fixers. So anything bothering them, they do not want anyone to tell them
Jack.
Tell them Jack. I don't understand that comment. So I'm reading comments from Facebook and YouTube as well. Donald says, it's up to the man to allow his significant other inside emotionally. If she's careful enough to carry that, a woman can do anything in the world to get him open up, but it's ultimately up to him to let her in. What do y'all think about that?
Sean.
Hi,
hold on, Antonio. Dre, hold on a second. Dre, go ahead. Hold on. Oh, not Dre. Dre was talking first, Antonio. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dre. Finish.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. A lot of time when it comes to you opening up, you at first men want to be transparent. We want to come in, we want to share everything with you. We want to say, you know, this. But it comes to a certain level that we get to seeing how you react when we come and being open about situations that we feel now we can't talk to you because in the middle of an argument, you bring up every single thing that I told you that was going on. Now it's in my argument. And I'm just saying, I was telling you that because I was going through some things. Now you have taught me how to treat you. And now on down the road, you want me to open up. Now I'm closed up and I'm not going to open up because when I was open to tell you everything, what was going on, how I was feeling, how was my day, it was basically like, you know, it got turned against me in the midst of an argument. So as men, we're going to sit back and we ain't going to be saying nothing. We're going to be on shut up. We're going to be on mute. And it's going to be hard to pull things from us because at that moment when we feel like that we can open up, you didn't reciprocate the same energy that we was giving out to you.
Right.
And then that just make us just shut down. And we don't be talking, and then you ask us questions, and you be wondering why he's not responding the way you want us to respond. Because you have taught me how to treat you now. Because when I was sitting there watching movies with you, and I may have dropped a tear, and then you looked over at me and said, "Look at you." Well, baby, the movie was kind of sad too, you know.
Do people do that though, Dre? Like, I mean, I'm not being funny. Do women really do that? Like, if you get emotional on a movie, we like a man ain't supposed to have no emotions?
Let me say this. I was watching. I was watching Color Purple something, and you know, it got a little sad that So I almost got a little tear, and the woman that I was dating at that moment, she looked at me like, "You better get that tear up."
What in the world are these women at? This is horrible, guys. I'm serious. Like, this is bad. Like, you better get that tear up. Go ahead, Antonio.
Hey, Tony.
Look, go ahead, Antonio. He was finna talk. So I'm gonna let him go.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's going on, McLevin? How you doing? Hey, I want to say hi to everybody in the panel.
What up, Mike?
You know what I'm saying? It's good to see y'all, good folks. Listen, men are already vulnerable. And what I mean by men are vulnerable, our biggest fear is not being able to take care of you and protect you.
Okay.
Okay. So now I chose you and you chose me. So the shield in the fight that I have to put up with the rest of the world, when I come home, it's like, I don't know if anybody ever played Nintendo and played their game Legend of Zelda. It's like going to get your hearts replenished. Mm-hmm. When I come home, you're the one that I come to confide to.
Right.
But that's
so
how
I'm supposed to be able to let everything out with you because we are together as one. You know what I'm saying? So when I come out, my house is the one place I should be able to come to cry. My house is the one place that I should be able to come to vent. My partner is the one that I should be able to come to and tell my deepest things, my deepest insecurities. But a lot of times women misinterpret it. And then when they get mad, they do use it. Or this is another situation I've had it. You went out and told somebody else outside the household.
Yeah.
Oh, please tell me the women ain't. Tell me we ain't doing that. Tell me. Listen, I'm listening to y'all, men, but please tell me we not out here telling the secrets that he has shared with us.
Yep.
Outside the house.
Feel away when they ain't telling you.
Yes, you are. So men already respond. It's not that we're not emotionally intelligent. We just respond to it differently. You know what I'm saying? So most of us, especially if you had any tutelage from a grandfather, or uncle, or father, being in the military, we're already taught to be solution driven. Don't stay on the problem too long. Find out how to fix it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and you know,
that's how that moves with us. But when we get on a space where I come to you, and even if I'm just tired, I might be tired. That don't mean that I can't change the tire on the car. It's just, man, damn, it's heavy. I done did this 16 times this week already. I'm tired. I don't want to have to do it no more.
Right.
So I got
interprets it different, and says something derogative to the man, and then we naturally gonna clam up. I'm not gonna say it to you again. And truth be told, that's the beginning. If you don't have proper communication, that's the beginning of the demise of a lot of relationships.
Wow.
Yeah,
I got a couple comments over here. Hold on, because I got look, y'all talking, but I got some men that's writing, so I'm trying to read out loud. Y'all giving some knowledge. Women, whether y'all in the room or in the hallway, I hope y'all are listening and taking notes, because this is how our men feel, especially our black men. Oh my gosh. So Donald says absolutely. Ronald said Rodney says the word is should. Donald says we're not wired that way and or taught that way. Rodney says, if not telling the secret, but using it against you in a fight. Okay, that's another what some of y'all said. Keep going. This is horrible, y'all. This is horrible. Okay, somebody said they
like I can give you.
She said she's not. Why Dr. Courageous say she listening, but she's not understanding? Why? What about they? I mean, they've been very clear.
Right, that's the point right there.
But then that mean that, but that means you're not listening.
Clarified it right there.
But then that means you're not listening. It's a problem if you can't trust your mate. It's not.
Yeah.
No, but part of the
the
part of the other thing that somebody said over here, they're not wired or taught that way. So even if the mate is trustworthy, they're not taught to share. They're not taught that men are not taught that they're able to share their emotions.
What gives you trust in something? Why do you trust your job?
Right.
Because every week they're consistent with your paycheck.
Right.
And if you went to work and got off work and it was payday and you went to the bank and your check went there, now you got an issue.
Right.
So when you come and you're coming, because I've seen in the comments somebody said that they start that way. They may not have started out that way. Most people don't choose the person that starts out that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if I'm coming to you and I say this, especially because most men ain't gonna do it more than twice. I might give you the benefit of the doubt and come back twice. After that second time, like they say, first time.
Wait, you ain't gonna do what more than twice? Share?
Right.
Share, yeah. You might do it.
First time, they say shame on you. Second time, shame on me.
Okay,
so after
okay.
You do it to me the second time, I'm not even finna come say nothing no more.
Okay, so Antonio, as y'all talking, right, I'm gonna be asking questions because I'm asking what I'm hoping the ladies may be wanting to pick up on. So if you go to your woman twice and share your feelings or something personal, and they either use it against you in an argument. Thank you for the love, Moretta. They use it against you in an argument. They what was the other one? Tell it to somebody else. Right. Then after a couple of times, you're no longer going to be open with that person. Nope. What happens if y'all married for a lifetime? They just won't have that.
That happened to us.
What?
Yeah, if you break it.
But I'm saying, but that was in the beginning. But you did end up sharing with me because I changed.
It still took 5 or 7 years to get.
It did took 5 or 7 years for him to open up. So but that wasn't what I was saying.
No, but you brought it.
Shut up, Dre.
You brought it up in arguments.
So I ain't share. I said how I brought it up in argument. Right. I know. I know I did some stuff in the beginning. Now
you were trustworthy, so that I could share stuff with you again.
How did I prove that? How can a woman do that?
Like Tonio said, your actions change consistently. So you did something different on a consistent basis. You didn't just do it for 2 days and go back to what you were doing before. You stayed doing something different consistently. So I said, okay, she might have made a change. So now I can give her a little tidbit.
Hey, Nathan. Okay. So ladies, the issue is consistency.
You know what happens? It's not even sometimes even having a discussion. It's just your day to day, and you hear how she talk. Like she could be causing you to see you can't trust her with your emotions just from watching movies or chilling.
From watching movies?
Comments towards you. You know what I'm saying? You can hear her comments towards you.
Okay, now, like, McLevin, you got to elaborate. I'm trying to help some women and myself. So tell me now, you saying watching movies.
Just like the guy said, like he got emotional in a movie and she look over and say, hold them tears in or something. That lets you know right there that listen, this is not so. Because listen, I'm not gonna be but so vulnerable anyway. I'm just not wired that way, right?
Oh.
So if I let any of it out and you betray it, I'm done with that.
Right.
So women, if your man is sharing his emotions with you, be very careful. They not only watch, they listen to what you say, but they watch how you interact on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
I can give you a quick story. My best friend was going through, and she would call me and cry for hours at a time. I mean, she really was going through something, and it lasted about a year. When I got divorced, what I was going through at the moment, after a few months, I just felt lost. And I called her to talk about it. And I think 5 minutes into the conversation, she was so quiet. I was like, I said something. Because when people are uncomfortable around me, I say something to break the ice. And when I said it, she started laughing. And I was like, yeah, you don't want me to be too emotional, huh? And she was like, nah, and she started laughing. And so the thing that I gave her, she can't give me. Women not even wired that way. She just don't want to see a man in weakness. I don't know if that's
but
good
but
or bad.
Emotions
Maybe
equal
that's
weakness.
just the way it is.
I saw
society. That's how society has built it for men. Society has built it that if you're a man and you show emotion, that means that you're weak. I'm gonna show you something, and it takes growth as a young man. That's why a lot of men have problems and won't go to other men to discuss what they got going on, looking for some help, because the whole situation that asks for help means that you're incapable.
Yeah, now I had some boys go through that. I said, man, why you ain't come and talk to me? And he was like, bro, what you want me to do? Cry on your shoulder? And I'm like, look, man, I'm the one you can come to. I know you probably don't want to go to your wife, but you can come to me. He didn't even want to come to me about it.
Wow. Okay, I see Dre. Go ahead, Dre.
But the good part, the good part about it is that you don't even know who you can trust when it comes to you feeling some kind of way. Like if I'm feeling some kind of way and I just feel like all hope is lost, and I said, man, let me holler at Cedric, try to tell him. Then it hit me, man. Cedric might think I'm on lost, might be looking at me all crazy if I come telling him I'm feeling some kind of way, I'm crying and all that stuff. So we are taught to suck it up, and you know what I'm saying. And then with our youth, that's what's happening to our young men when they come and they going through something, going through a transition. They want to come to us, but they don't know how, because society have taught them that you don't cry, you stick your chest out, and you be the rugged person that you can possibly be. And guess what? That's what the girl love. They love the guys who got the tattoo in their head and acting crazy. But Mr. Goodball get ate up all the time.
Mr. Goodball?
Mr. Goodball get ate up all the time. But old Thug Rug, no Ken, and all them, you already know he ain't no good, but you'll run and chase him.
And let me piggyback on Dre right quick. So with that, now think about it from this perspective. When we're together, whether we're girlfriend, boyfriend, fiancés, or husband and wife, we have chosen each other. That means that we're supposed to be taking this journey together. So now think about how devastating it is for the person that you chose that's supposed to be on your side. And you come to them and they tell you, hey, no, I ain't got time to deal with that. You need to do whatever, you can't be that way. So where do we have our vulnerability at? I'm gonna share something quickly and I'm gonna be quiet.
No, don't be quiet.
And you know my situation, Black Love. A couple of weeks ago, I'm in the office. I got a couple of appointments. Okay, these 2 appointments were supposed to come. They were 30 minutes late. Okay, they're sitting in the lobby. I get the appointment behind them is coming up. So the girl stands up. I'd been out in the lobby calling their name. They're non-melanated people. So when it all comes down to it, you've lost your spot, because you came late. You didn't say anything when I came out and asked for you. So now when the people that I contract with, because they also do the reach out services for me, which these individuals don't know that. So when the lady called and followed up and what was wrong and this and that, what she said was, I didn't get my time. I sat in the lobby for over an hour and did and all this. And she said some guy came out and called my name, but he looked like he was a janitor. I'm the only melanated person in that office.
You the janitor?
So what janitors have medical records? What janitor comes out? Okay, I ain't have no broom or nothing. So, but now when I come home, I have nobody that I can talk to about that.
Mm.
And then it's real easy for that to get cross-placed in another situation, and then it turns to anger.
Yeah.
And then the first thing they say is them angry ass men.
Okay, so hold on.
But with your spouse, it'll be like, yeah, that's why people think you're a janitor, because you ain't no good at your job. It'll be something cruddy like that'll come out in an argument.
So listen, so I gotta say thank you, God. Thank you, all these men that are sharing their emotions and their feelings. I mean, if you look over here on Facebook, they writing exactly. But Glam had a question, and these are everybody that's in here. We're sharing. The men are sharing how they feel, how they're able to share their emotions with their spouses, and why they don't share, how it's used against them. Glam had a question that if men don't share their emotion, doesn't that manifest in different ways? So why be that person? Why be with that person? So
saying why be with the men, I'm talking about why are they in the relationships that they are in where they can't express their emotions.
Okay, so let me say this real quick, Glam. I don't know if you heard Cedric that said that was us in the beginning of our relationship. Hello, Nate. That was us in the beginning of our relationship. So in the beginning of our relationship, I was the person that brought up things. I mean, he wasn't sharing like that. Now, don't get it twisted. He is not a sharer. But I brought up stuff that I did know in arguments.
Yeah, because I was testing you, you failed.
Oh, he was testing me and I failed. Yeah. So, but for at least 5 to 7 years, that was me. So that doesn't mean that has to stay you. But what Antonio said and what Cedric said before, it has to consistently be a change, has to be changed behavior. So you can't want your husband to share his emotions with you and you throw it in his face, you gotta tell somebody else, and then he shuts down, and then you wonder why he won't open up. You have to consistently be a change. So if he's not sharing with you, you got to check you, is basically what they're saying to you.
Yeah, and then the thing, I mean, just listen to the question and hear the difference between men and women. Why are you with that person? We men don't find reasons to get out of relationships because we're fixers. So when there's a problem in our relationship, we're not looking for the door.
Y'all not?
Heck no.
Oh, look, I don't know if I believe that
like,
now.
Nothing is 100%. I'm saying, generally speaking, the majority of men stay in their relationship.
So you say majority of women trying to find a way to get out?
I have a question though.
Hold on, Glam. Wait a minute. We still in one. Look, Glam, we still in question one.
I'm not saying they. I'm saying I'm not saying they looking for a way per se. I'm saying that any small thing can cause it. Like the in and out of love thing is a farce. It's a lie. It's really what a woman is saying when she says, I'm not in love with you no more. She's saying that I've emotionally changed. something triggered me, and I don't feel good about that. So it's a reason for me to exit, because she's saying, if you can't just listen to the statement, if you listen to women all the time, everything is a deal breaker. Just about anything a man does is a reason for her to exit. Just go through these podcasts.
Glam, you gotta mute. Glam, you gotta mute, baby. I'm normally I'm trying to facilitate it and read the comments, but I want these men to talk.
Yeah.
I don't
just
look
go
out.
through the podcast and listen to the word red flag. Everything is a red flag. Everything is a reason to exit. Men ain't wired like that. Now, there's some men that's wild, and yeah, I mean, you're gonna find examples on both sides. You're gonna find women that don't have that in them at all. They loyal to a fault. But I'm saying, generally speaking, if you just listen to women, it's a exit sign on the door.
Hey, Tanisha. Okay, so as you see, you see Tanisha, yeah. Miss Courageous is disagreeing with y'all a lot in the comments. I don't know what she's disagreeing with about so much about y'all emotions. And so Miss Courageous, I'm confused how you gonna disagree with the way these 4 men are telling you that they feel. That makes no sense to me. Come on, Dre, back on camera. I'm trying to figure out how y'all. I know that you may not understand, but this is a moment to pause and listen, because you have 4 different men. And I actually have a few more men that are chiming in via Facebook and YouTube, that they are all agreeing in one way or another. And you're saying, I disagree. I disagree. How do you disagree with how a man feels if you don't have a penis? Sorry. If you don't have testosterone and a penis, you can't say how they feel. I understand you're disagreeing, but how do you disagree with a man's feeling and you're not a man? As much as I feel like I know Cedric and the stuff that he shared with me, I can't speak matter-of-factly about a man because I'm not one. My voice deep, but I done had 5 children. I ain't no man. I can't tell you how they feel. I can tell you what my husband told me, but that may even change. And you see me sitting here asking him questions, and he's sharing with me, Antonio and Dre and McLovin, which I appreciate so much. Donald and Rodney.
She said you assuming she's disagreeing with how they feel.
Okay, well, I was reading your comments, Dr. Courageous. So so I'm so sorry. By your comments is what it looked like. But go ahead, Dre. I see you was getting ready to talk. Because
yeah, when see, that's the part, and I'm glad we having this conversation. This is the part that
thank y'all for
we're
sharing.
Talking about listening. See, it's just like us men, we raising our hand and say, okay, this is how I feel, and this is how I want to come to my home. I want some peace. And the first thing she's saying, why you want peace? You did this, and see, at that point we like this. You know what? I ain't even gonna say nothing there. We don't shut up,
right?
Because right now you're not listening. This is a great opportunity just to listen and hear. Listen, learn, and hear. That's it. Just listen. Sometimes that's the same thing we have to do when it comes to our significant other. A lot of us men, we just sit there and just listen. Because at the end, just like the man of God said right here, we're fixer. That's why they tell women, hey, you want to find a good man? Go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's. Why? They fix it on something.
Oh.
And that's what we do in our house. We want to be the fixer. When you have a problem, we sit there and listen, and we try to figure out, let me show you the vision of man. We're the visionary of the house. You can give me a bill that said got to be paid next month. And I can look at that bill. I ain't got the money. But I can say, well, after this month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, okay, it's going to be paid. And I can show you that same bill. Next week, you'll still be talking about, how we going to pay this? How we going to do this? And I just told you, we can't do that until next month. Sometimes you still fussing and carrying on about that. We're going to pay it when the money come in, and that's when it's going to be paid. And we done with it. We move on. But you'll keep on tearing with that thing week after week after week. And that means you arguing, and then that month come up when I told you going to be paid. Guess what? It got paid.
And then listen to the comment. Listen to it's the first instinct of some women is to interpret it, right? Or to tie it to their experience. So that's what the young lady in the comments is doing. She's saying, you asked her, how can you disagree with these men? And she said, because I got a husband.
I got
So
one
now
too. I got one too.
Now our experience got to be hers.
But listen,
So she still ain't hearing what we talking about. She's still not even trying to receive it. She's tying it to her own experience, and then she's gonna wrap it up and make it be whatever she wanted to be.
Okay,
that's what we be dealing with.
So here's the one thing I want to say is, I know that like McLovin, you were talking about some women and different things they do. All those things didn't speak to me, right? That's not me. But I get you guys are sharing your experiences, your reality, your world, your situation. Had you talked to Cedric in year 1 through 5, 1 through 7, he'd been telling you he didn't have a wife that he could share anything with. He'd been talking about different things. And so you can have a husband, but here's what I'm going to tell you. And I told somebody this recently. They be like, ain't that right, husband? Do you feel like this? And you feel like that? He ain't going to tell you the truth in your face because he know that you're going to cause hell in his home. Right. If he know you finna wreak havoc, sometimes they will let you just think you have it. Right. And they agree with you.
So that's why I'm saying her point of view is probably skewed because he ain't telling her the truth.
It's a lot of men that don't tell their wives the truth. We've been in counseling sessions and I'll say whatever. And they be like, oh, the wife be like, oh, that's my, we like that too. And then by their conversation, we knew that wasn't the case. And when I asked the guy, he'd be like, no, what you mean? No, we ain't this. She was like, you can tell me the truth. He's like, no, I can't. Because you're going to be mad. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. You're going to be that. And what we got to understand is, as much as we think that we're close to men, there's a level that they won't share with you because you can't handle the truth. Y'all remember that commercial? You can't handle the truth. You can't handle it when they tell you that you ain't meeting the mark for them. When you ask them, I'm the best you ever had, and they be like, no, you give me that lazy side booty. Oh, y'all know about lazy side booty.
When we come with an issue and we tell you what our issue is, and then you say we're blaming you.
When y'all tell us about us and we turn around on you. One quick example is there was a thing on Facebook in a group, and it said, what's a statement that a woman should never tell her husband? One of the girls said the same thing a man should never tell his wife. You're missing the point. They're not talking, and the statement may be true, but we're not talking about tit for tat. We're addressing what should women never say to their husband, wives should never say to their husband. Stop moving it around about you. We love to do that now. Women love to make it about us. But tonight, I want to hear from y'all. If it's a man in the comments that want to share how they feel, I'm here for it. But we're having a serious conversation. We want to hear how you feel about when we dropping the ball at, women.
Black love.
Yes.
Listen to this right here. Cedric, you let me know if you men, let me know if y'all hear this. I do panels all the time. I correct men. I try to teach men how to get along with women through character, influence, love, and productivity. I can sit in a panel all day long and talk about how terrible men are. And a woman will not, she ain't gonna do nothing but agree and get in the conversation. And yes, he's this, yes, he's that. Mm-hmm. Now, I have done this several times on purpose. I said, women, I'm not gonna critique you. What do y'all do wrong? And you know what? The response is like clockwork every time. I'm too nice. I give it too much. I let him do. It's always something somebody else is doing to them, and it's like you're dealing with a person that don't even see wrong in themselves most of the time.
Right.
So how can you find agreement with that? Right. Only thing you can do is try to love it and try to influence her and see if we can get that 5 years to turn into something else.
Read that comment. Tia says we fail at accountability. I'm glad that we get. Juju has said it.
Right.
We said it.
If you don't think it's
Morena
wrong,
said
you
it.
ain't gonna fix it.
Listen, I want to say we do fail at accountability.
Right.
And like Cedric said, if we don't see no problem, then you ain't gonna fix the problem.
You don't think nothing
We
wrong
have
with
to say this for the people in the comments. We're talking about individuals in relationships who have earnest intentions, who are trying to be in a good relationship.
Right.
We're not talking about Playboy Fetty Wap
Right?
that ain't trying to whatever. So some of these comments are triggered because you come across an individual, male or female, that didn't have honest intentions with you.
Yeah.
So you cannot use that as the judging gauge for what is going on. We are talking about in the perspective of an honest, good relationship where the intentions is for us to be together.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
we
still
have
somebody
men
that chose.
who are intentionally trying to be what our wives and women want and expect of us. We're trying to maintain our relationships. We're trying to find common ground. We're trying to increase in love. We're trying to get better in character. We're trying to be an influence in the world. We're trying to be better people. That's the men we're talking about. We're not talking about people that exude extreme bad behavior and just gonna be wrong anyway.
Right.
The men that are neglected the most are the ones that are trying to be the best for you.
Right.
Oh, I
was
gonna say that. Listen, I done heard that reason. The good guys finish last. Listen, and
no, but what happens is they wait till the relationship with the knucklehead don't work out. Then they want to try to come back to the good guy. After you all used up. No, baby.
And why? Look, come give you that regular stuff.
That ship is sailed, boo. No, I'm good.
And see, you talking to a man that's been the bad guy.
Huh?
See, I've been on the other side where a woman couldn't open her mouth to me wrong. You did what I said or get away from me.
Oh.
And I used my status in her life. I used her feelings and emotion about me to control her.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. But that's the thing.
Can we stop for 1 second? And I just want to say, hey, bro, it takes a lot of growth to realize that and admit that.
Yes.
I appreciate you for sharing that, bro.
I'm gonna say again, I appreciate y'all for sharing, because there are women on Facebook that are replying that y'all speaking facts. So I appreciate the fact that you're sharing, because more than what's commenting, they're listening.
Right.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when we see a lot of, like, I like that the women are commenting saying we don't accept our own issues and whatever. Right. But the ones that are seem to be a little bit combative bother me a little bit, because, hey, Sugar Drop, the ones that are being a little bit combative right now bother me, because you are the ones that we're talking about. You're not listening. You got these men telling you their feelings, their emotions, what they did, why they don't feel like they can share when they're going into a depression, or when they're sad, or when they feel like life is lifing and I don't have an out because I'm the one that's supposed to be the head of the household. So I don't have an out. And then nobody cares about how I feel. I got to listen to everybody else and do everything else. So go ahead. I think Dre, you was going to say something?
Well, you know what? And you know, the good part about it is that when even when we get in a situation where we feel like that, okay, I'm seeking the Lord, I'm giving it all my all to the Lord because I want to be a better man. I want to be able to cover my relationship. And in our covering our relationship, we are still looked as weak because now you're a church boy. Now you praising God. Then sometimes I'm gonna be honest. In one of my situations, it was said, it was like when you get ready to go to church or doing something, said, why are you going to church so much? Let's go do this. Let's go do this. And want to take you from that part that made the relationship be the relationship that it is, where I understood your worth. I understood the rules and the regulation that God had provided for me as a man, as headship, to know how I'm supposed to operate as a man. And then you try to basically demonized me back to the streets because you wanted me to be that guy that when I came out the street, you want me to continue to be in that guy. It's growth and level to this thing. And then the growth is that now I want to be more open. I want to be honest with you because when I was out in them street lines, you believe every single thing I said.
Everything.
If I said sugar was a bear, that sugar was a bear. You feel me? And if I said, come get in the car, let's ride, we rode. But now I get with you and I said, baby, let's go. I don't feel like going. Dang. And then you say, hey, baby, I don't done 10 push-ups. Well, I got a migraine. God, your hair hurt. I got oh, man. You get to hear stuff. You hear me? And then you get, and then it get 6 months on down the road, you still having hot flashes. Get out of here with that. And you wonder why Sister Cornbread is coming around the corner telling, you know what, I like that cologne you got on. And you ain't never told me you like it. I got
Sister Cornbread.
Sister
Cornbread. He is cornbread, baby. Let me tell you.
Cornbread. Yes.
Sister Cornbread, you go to work. Sister Cornbread said, I like them new shoes you got on. You and he like shoes and you bought them.
Right. Well. So, listen, Dre gonna be Sister Cornbread, but listen, hold on for a second now.
I'm sorry.
No, Glamp said something earlier that about. Remember, she said about when men don't get what they want, they don't share, but then they end up it come out in other ways and they step out. Now, so it is always our responsibility whether we cheat or not. It's a decision. Okay, we're gonna say that up front. But I always say we can make it conducive for men to cheat or for whatever situation. You can make it conducive. And you don't realize that if you're not watering your grass, somebody will water it. Mm-hmm. And that somebody is going to be doing, and every man that cheat is not a dog. Sometimes they thirsty because they got a whole bunch of deficiency stuff going on at home. And somebody is saying, you thirsty, here go a whole pool. Here you go. Here goes some water. Here goes some Gatorade. And then you like, well, dog, I'm not saying that anybody should ever cheat. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying we got to make sure we water our own. Like he said, you got Sister Cornbread. Lord, drain that corn, Sister Cornbread. He loves to say Sister Cornbread. She gonna bake a cake. Look, Sister Cornbread gonna bake you a cake. I remember last time you said you like this, or it smell good. Here you go. You want to try this? And then next thing you know, she bringing him lunch, and he can't get you to make him a sandwich. I'm just saying.
But check this out, Black Love. I think sometimes in marriage and relationships, the word duty gets lost because we have to understand what we're saying when we make that commitment. Once we make that commitment, I am saying to you, everything that I depend and need, I'm only coming to you for it.
Right.
So now let's take infidelity off the table, because sometimes when we start talking about sexual relationship, it's these special rules that we look at.
Right.
Now let's look at it from the point of eating.
Right.
And you've agreed that, hey, Cedric, I'm gonna make sure you get out here, you working hard, baby. I'm gonna make sure that I feed you every single day. And you made that commitment to say it. And Ced goes Monday, he didn't get a meal. He goes Tuesday, he didn't get a meal.
Oh, wow.
He goes Wednesday, he didn't get a meal. So now when Cedric said, man, I'm hungry and I need to feed myself because I'm not gonna starve to death, he gets up and go feeds himself. Then you go, you know what? You're supposed to let me cook for you. You don't love me because you ain't wait for me to cook for you.
I've been waiting.
Been waiting. And then now he are no good for nothing because he decided to go get him something to eat somewhere else.
There you go.
Because he's starving.
Well,
let the church say amen.
Someone asked the question. Wow. Yeah. This good stuff, y'all. I mean, it ain't what we want to hear. This is not what we want to hear, but it's what we need to hear. And this was not the topic. We didn't have a topic night. I said, we're just going to talk about love, whatever. And then we just started, I don't know. But God knew this conversation needed to be had.
Yeah, you see that comment say service is lost.
Service is lost.
Yeah.
Because on here, I'm just going to say for TikTok purposes, Justin, I need your buddy in here with these men. We've been talking about men and their emotions and their ability to share. But men, I mean, on this app, we've been having an issue with women saying that servanthood is slavery
or control.
But when you realize that in the body of Christ, we're supposed to serve one another. That's just one another. So if I'm going to serve somebody I don't know, why would I not serve the man that's providing and protecting for me? Why would I not serve the man that's going to go get up and go to work for me, that's going to be there for me? Why would I not serve the one that is here for me day in and day out when in sickness and in health? But I'm going to be talking about, I ain't no slave. You know what? It ain't slavery. Now I get up in the morning, I cook him breakfast. I'm cleaning up after cleaning the kitchen after I do breakfast. If he's home for that day for some reason, I'm making lunch. If he's somewhere else and he want me to bring him lunch, I'm bringing him. Hey, can you go to the store and get this for me? If I can do all those things, will I not go get them for you? But in the beginning, it did seem like a chore because it was out of the normal. But when you start to make it your normal, it is my pattern. It's part of what I do. It's not a chore. It's not a struggle. It's not anything heavy. And that is where we got to get our mindset change, women, is that it's not a chore. When you love somebody, you want to see them happy. I like to see a smile on his face. I like to see him happy. I like to see when his shoulders can relax because I've taken some type of load off him. I ain't talking about being the man that had a household. I'm talking about being his helpmeet. That's what a helpmeet is. Even if it's those days when, it's been days when I asked what's going on, he said nothing, or I don't know, and we just sit here. We not talking, but he's know I'm here as a support. And he may realize later that what it was or what's going on, but we got to talk too much. We got to tell you what we not going to do. And why I'm going to do that for you, why you ain't do this for me. And I did this, I did two of these. The Bible says love does not keep count. Love does not keep score. So if you telling him how much you did for him, then you're really keeping score.
Right. And you got the wrong attitude about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Your attitude about the whole thing is wrong. When people respond like that, that tells you all you need to know. Because the attitude about a situation determines what you're going to do. So when you say stuff like that, you know your attitude is not right.
And actually, Miss Moretta had a live early today. She had a live, and I was driving, so I couldn't comment. But she said how all these women want these crazy rings and want these things they can do. Hey, Fit, all these things that you can do for them, but they're not looking at that he buying you a house or doing other things for you. Me and Cedric got married in my parents' living room. Hey, Brown Eyes, we got married in my parents' living room. Our rings was $50 put together from the pawn shop. $50. Our rings were $50 put together, the pawn shop. Now we 21 plus. Thank you. We 21 plus years later. We can afford to go get another ring. We can afford to do some other things. But the thing about that now, I want to show everybody else how grandiose my ring is, or how big my wedding is. I had a wedding a year later in my sister's backyard, but that was a year later. But we had $50 rings. From the pawn shop. I'm gonna say that again. And it's not about it's not about the value, but a value.
Hey.
Go ahead, Antonio.
I just told somebody that the other day, we put more into the ceremony than we put into the actual marriage.
No. Listen, ask them do they do premarital counseling? No. Do you know there's a statistic that people, and if you spend a bunch of money on your wedding, don't come saying, not me. Okay, because they get on my nerves with that. There is a statistic that says that the people that spend the most money on their weddings don't stay married 6 months to a year. You spend $30,000, $50,000 on a wedding, and you ain't married but 6 months.
6 months.
Say it again, babe.
6
But listen, and I'm not saying you can't want a ceremony or a wedding, but where are your priorities? Where are your morals? And I'm gonna look. I've been talking to the women, but Miss Moretta, she talked about this early in her life. So I'm gonna let her comment because she talked about this specifically. Women, we gotta get our life together. Go ahead, sweetie.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Good evening. You're talking so right. Blessings, y'all. How y'all doing this evening? Y'all know I tear the carpet up. Because I have a girlfriend right now who's in the process of getting married. Now, mind you, she's in Delaware. She lives in the projects. She met a young man who's married her, who lives in this project house with her. They sent me a registry where they had already been paying for the last 4 years on a wedding, a $20,000, $30,000 wedding, and you living in the projects. Don't understand the fact that once you say I do and you get married, the projects where you are, the projects where you'll stay, if you don't get that mentality of the fact that $30,000 could have been a down payment on a home. That $30,000 and that $6,000 ring that you want to show off to your girlfriend, you can't sleep in that and you can't eat it.
Well, that's right.
The minute you say I do, you're going straight to market rent in that project house. You might be paying $120 to stay there now, but as soon as you take that man as your husband, now his income has become included. Your food stamps is cut off. Your welfare is cut off. You think you live on the hog now because you're living on Section 8, you're living on welfare.
Right.
Now, that's fine if that's what you got to do. But the minute you take a husband and the minute you become one and the minute that both of y'all got an income, that $30,000 wedding that y'all planning for should have been put into a home of your own. Get your credit right if your credit is tore up.
Right.
Same payment you paid
Right.
that wedding planner, you could have been paying to fix your credit.
Messy.
Because you played that wedding planner faithfully. Now you got the big old ring. And the whole thing about the ring thing was I had so many women saying that they need this piece of metal between them or the man ain't no good. It depends on how many carats he buy me.
He ain't no good. The ring make you good?
Worth nothing. They're basing their level on how big this ring is and how many carats. My thing is there carats in the refrigerator? Can I eat?
You so silly.
Can I eat?
That's what I'm talking about. Make me a salad.
Y'all talking about some carrots. I need some carrots in my refrigerator. I need to be able to eat. I need a roof over my head. Why you sitting here showing your fingers off to these women? Can your fingers make some biscuits? Can your fingers make some macaroni and cheese? Can you get your fingers in that?
But hold on. Miss Moretta, but they ain't even cooking. They want carrots on their fingers, but won't go cook that man a meal.
Won't do nothing.
Won't cook that man a meal. And then not only
Clean
that,
up nothing.
you're going to sit there and you're going to take all his money, and go have a great big ceremony for people that don't care nothing about you.
Right.
They're going to talk about you as soon as the wedding's over with. They're going to talk about you going back to the project. They're going to talk about you ain't got no decent car, decent house to live in. They're going to call your husband a bum. They're going to say he's not a king. They're going to say he garbage, he trash, because he chose to allow you to lead him down that road of giving his money up so you can flash yourself around the public.
Listen.
It was really irritating to me to hear these women say these things. To hear these women say these things. And then they're saying stuff like, if he can't afford to buy me an expensive ring, I'm not marrying him. I won't live with him. I'm not going to give him no coochie. I'm not doing nothing for him if he can't buy me this big old ring.
You ain't gonna give him no coochie. I gotta give him some coochie. I want the dang ring.
These are women that are claiming
I'm sorry.
You're gonna take the very nourishment off the table, and you're gonna deny this man everything. He done. Okay, what they don't understand is his level of provision ain't got nothing to do with your Chanel bag or your Coach pocketbook or your red bottoms.
Nothing.
You can't live in that pocketbook.
Say that.
You can't live in that pocketbook. And I was telling them, before we worry about how these people look in these jeans, you better worry about how they look in your life.
Oh.
Hey, Ms. Marietta, let me ask you a question, because I know you're more well versed than I am, and I don't remember it. But isn't there somewhere in the Bible that say that women shouldn't put more on the man than he can supply or handle or something like that?
God don't put no more on us.
No, they say God will never put more than you can bear.
Not God. About what a woman should expect from her husband.
Look.
She's not a virtuous woman. She's supposed to submit herself to her husband, and he's
Hold-
supposed
so-
to lead. And
So hold on one second. I got a comment. I'm trying to throw these women these women been doing the most, Miss is it Marietta? Is it Marietta?
Marietta. Yes,
Marietta. So I got a woman. You know, I'm streaming on Facebook and YouTube. The comment says, it would only be slavery if only one side is doing the serving. If both sides are doing the serving, it's not slavery. But that's not it.
That's not it.
That is not a. If he never do one thing for you, what does God tell you to do?
Submit yourself to him.
Okay, so why do these women say it got to be if he got to do it too, and then it's not this? If Cedric don't do a doggone thing for me, I am still obligated by God to go and do what I'm supposed to do for him. I don't understand this, how we got to make it be about, well, it ain't slavery, we both doing it. What if he ain't doing it?
He said sanctify a wife, but sanctify her husband. So that means he wants you to stay sanctified.
You stay sanctified.
Help me, Jesus. I'm sorry.
And I've had this conversation before with a spouse about, hey, I feel like you're trying to control me. And a lot of times we're using these words, slavery, control, and we're just using them out of context and not using them properly. I was in the United States military.
Right.
I've been controlled. I was told when to go to bed,
Hey, cover girl.
when to eat, where I could go, when I could use the bathroom, what to wear, how to wear it, how to fold your clothes. And if bedtime was 9 o'clock, I couldn't go to bed at 8:30. I had to wait till 9 o'clock. So a lot of people use those terms, but you're not really being controlled. You're using it as a way to say, hey, I don't want to do these
But
things
it's your
that you
mindset too, though. It's your mindset, right, Antonio? Because when you go and you know what you signed up for, you don't do it like these people telling me to put these boots on or to put this uniform on. It's just part of what you do. That's how you get dressed in the morning. That's how you do whatever you do. You found the scripture?
No. But what I was going to say is that they talking about slavery, but you do what somebody tell you to do all day, every day. When you get in your car, you follow the speed limit. You put on your seatbelt. When you go to work, you do what your manager tell you to do. So why would you not do what your husband that loves you asks you to do? That makes no sense. The manager at that job don't care nothing about you. If you die today, he gonna put somebody else in your position to do it and not think about you again. So
the main problem they're having is they're looking at men. Women are looking at men like they're ATM machine. They want him to provide for them while he worked 16, 12 hours a day. He not even being in the very home that he's paying for because they want him out of the home all day long while he break his back for them to be disrespectful. And that should not be.
Should not be.
But see, you know what? In a lot of relationships, and this is plain and simple, and I know the men's gonna agree with me on this. It's plain and simple. Just like you have an animal. That animal, you come home to that animal, you say, oh baby, how you been? You miss me today. I gotta take you for a walk. You take that dog out for a walk, y'all just walking. You say, what, go? And dog go around, use the bathroom for you. You bring him back in the house, you feed him, you wash him, then he jump in your lap, you rub him, then you tell him go to bed. Why you can't do the same thing you do for that dog, you can't do for your husband? When he walk in the door, oh my God, said, baby, I am so glad to see you. How was your day? And don't worry about yourself, because if you begin to give that energy, us as men, we be like, oh my God, you know what, girl, I thought about you all day. Let me send you some flowers. Matter of fact, let's go out there. Ain't no sense you cooking today. You know what? That car you've been talking about, man, I've been working overtime. Go out there in the parking lot. It's out there. Because we would go over and beyond the call of duty just for love. Do you know how much men would do just for love? They hurt somebody over love. When I LOVE you, ain't nothing nobody can say to you, ain't nothing nobody can do to you, because I'm gonna be there to defend you. And see, that's what about when a man chooses a wife, he know he chose a wife, he obtained favor with the Lord, and that favor is great. And we understand that favor. Guess what? We take you home to meet mama. And when we take you home to meet mama, you mean something to us. And the only thing we just want, just everything, we simple. Just rub our little head. Smell good.
Both heads. Both heads, Dre. Hey, Dre, both heads. Both heads.
But Dre, here's the thing, man, and this in our community. Here's the thing that is not accounted for, right? And that is a black man. So a woman, period, needs to esteem her man. She needs to be able to look up to him, right? And so as men, it's important that we are attentive, that we are observant, and that we are loving and caring in our life, right? And that we are a pillar of strength through our character, our influence in the world, and especially through our love, right? She needs to look up to us. So character is doing the right thing, increasing in knowledge, and having many interests, right? And so if we're that, then she can keep that esteem. But here's the problem for black men. Black women expect us to have all of that and be cool and be rough and we gotta be so much more than the other man. Man, our talk game gotta be on point. We gotta interest her in so many other ways that ain't even real, that ain't got nothing to do with character, that ain't got nothing to do with intelligence, and nothing to do with influence in the world, nothing to do with love, right? And we gotta keep her attention with all of those things. And if we don't, that we become the lame.
Yeah.
So we become the weak guy. We become the good guy, right?
Right.
And I tell women this all the time. It's like, listen, I was dude, and I still am in a lot of ways. I know what to say to women. I know how to say it and when. Right?
You're a smooth talker now. I hear you. I listen at you.
I'm telling you that ain't, man, 90% of the men you're gonna come across don't have that
at all.
I learned it. I was a little light-skinned, 90-pound dude playing this Mickey Mouse player, reading record player, reading books to my little cousins and my friends. That's who I was. Until some rough dudes walked up in my yard and I had to decide whether I was going to defend myself and become strong or let them take advantage of me. And I became something, a persona. It ain't even my true heart. So that persona is what I got to maintain for the black woman.
Okay, so listen. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No. Yeah. I don't want to interrupt.
And I see it all the time. Like, I used to see it. I'd be like, baby girl, I told my sister. She came to me about her husband. She'd been with almost 30 years. She came to, and he was a friend of mine, an accountant. At that time, he was working in computers. And she said, he likes me and I like him, but I don't know. What you think? And I said, I know you looking for me. I know you looking for me, but I ain't what you want, baby. You better take that man that got that love in his eyes for you, that love in his heart for you. I know you want your brother. I know because how you see me operate out here in these streets, right? But I ain't what you want, because I'm telling women to shut up in my presence.
Oh, you something like a pimp.
Don't say nothing.
That's right.
Right?
Oh,
I'm putting you in danger. I'm risking our money.
Oh.
I'm risking my life. I'm risking my freedom.
Right.
And you love me for that. Right? And I done seen it flip over to the other side too. Because when I became a playwright, 15 years, I became a different guy. Right? And I had to turn my cool on sometime. Because women would look at me, I'd be communicating with them in an environment that was upper echelon, right? And they'd be like, oh, he a lame. And then I turn on that thing, that persona that I know, that I attract them, and I be that guy. And it was like them same women in them same environments changed their mind about who I was. I couldn't be the nice guy.
McLovin. So a couple things. I'm gonna let Cedric got some a scripture that he found. It's not that one, Antonio, but another one. But to go to first of all, I'm just amazed that you say that you got you that lame until you turn on. So they want the bad boy. It seems like you can't be the nice guy. They want the bad boy. In Texas Dreammaker, I know you got some thoughts. If you want to come here and speak on behalf of the men, because we had only the men up here at one point. Dre, we have women say what we want our husbands to do, and I want my husband this, and he ain't that. But it wasn't until I started doing what I was supposed to do and loving him the way I was supposed to that there was nothing he wouldn't do for me. So I'm a living testimony about that. He did stuff that I didn't even know I needed or wanted because I was loving him the way I was supposed to or learn how to. Then it wasn't all the stuff I thought I wanted, he did. So I get that. Cedric, go with your scripture.
This is Proverbs 12:4. It says, an excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who causes shame is like rottenness in his bones.
So first of all, read that one again for real.
Hey, let me get my church face on.
Right. Look. I was like, rottenness in his bones.
An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who causes shame is like rottenness in his bones.
So I keep hearing women say, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. I said, and obtain favor with the Lord. I said, but when he finds you, are you a good thing? What is he finding?
Right.
You do have to be that good thing. Y'all know that, right? Just because you got coochie, a hot pocket, as I call it. Just because you got a hot pocket, Miss Moretta, I'm going to drop you down, and Glenn, I'm going to drop you down so the men can have this panel. I got Texas coming up, okay?
Okay, amen. I'm
Favor.
Listen, it says that that he obtains favor with the Lord. But what are you bringing? What good thing are you? If everything you want is a bag or a purse or, like she said, a ring or a car, if that's actually making it harder for him, it would seem.
Under yonder, what they bring.
Under yonder, you bring your under yonder.
And if that's all you got, you ain't got much.
Listen, it's a coochie on every corner.
Every corner.
It's coochie every cash register. It's coochie everywhere, y'all. So if coochie's all you got to bring, you ain't got much.
You're in trouble.
Right. Are you a good thing?
Because what happened when he get one that's better than yours? What happened then?
Because somebody's better than yours.
So what? Do you get traded in like old Cadillac at that point?
Oh. or a car that you leave on the side of the road.
Deuce in the quarter. Deuce in the quarter.
Did you say?
Deuce in the quarter? Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Look, Dreammaker said Deuce in the quarter.
Oh, no, lecture.
So Texas Dreammaker,
my uncle used to ask my younger cousins and my younger aunts. He used to ask them, what happened when he don't care about your fine no more?
There you go.
Oh, what happened when you ain't fine no more?
What happened when he don't care about your fine no more?
No, I'm saying, but what happened when you ain't fine no more? Because these butts and junk spread now. They spread. They're loaded. The waist spread, the butt spread, everything started to spread. And then what?
Do you know what a stripper does for a man?
What does it do?
What does she do? $20.
What's she do?
She's kind. That's all she does.
She kind. Now wait a minute. I'm not. Listen, I ain't no man, but baby, that's all she do. She bouncing her booty on the handstand.
But guess what? At the same time, like love. At the same time, what he's saying, she's kind and she's listening. If you have anything to say, she's listening. She's attentive to what you're saying at that moment. Even though she after getting that money,
when they good,
she listening.
And when they good, when you come back, they know what type of drink you drink. They know what type of food you like.
Well, dog Antonio, how many you been to?
They know everything they know.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, when I was younger, I had a membership at one when I was younger.
Let me say this right here. I was the dude. Two of my boys own strip club.
Oh wow!
For me, the way that I was raised up, it was weakness for me to deal with a stripper. So I ignored them. I would be there all night drinking, hanging with my boys, but I never dealt with them. And they always wanted to figure out why. And the thing that they did every time I came in there was be very kind to me. They were trying their best to win me over for the money. Now I know that's a con, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it tells you they understand what works.
Right. You better believe it.
I really hope that women are listening.
Woman is tenderness.
I really hope women are listening tonight. I know I interject to ask questions, but I want to, if you're listening to all the, well, we know the comments we've had.
Besides righteousness.
Besides what?
Tenderness comes after righteousness, of course.
Okay, Texas, I see you getting ready to talk.
I think McLovin hit it on the head. At the end of the day, you hear about what types of women are winning, but no one really says the ones that really win. Like a woman that gets the bag, let's say, from a dude, like McLovin say, she's nice, but I'll go one step further. She's kind on purpose. And by being kind to him on purpose, she can get everything that he has.
The stripper?
Women.
No, but they were just talking about
Well, I'm saying this is what they do to get the bag or you get money from guys in the club. But it works in the club. It works also out the club. If you are a woman and you're kind and nice on purpose, there's nothing that a man that you're with or around you will not do anything for. If your car breaks down and you're nice to some gentleman walking by you and tell him my engine broke or my tire flat, he gonna change your tire. But if you're sitting there cussing at your car and cussing at him, he may be trepidatious to walk up on you, right? So if you're kind on purpose, he'll come change your tire. He'll pump your gas. He may even pay for your gas with or without a ring because he's not trying to really get with you. He's trying to be nice to you. And if that leads to something else or not, he doesn't have a problem with it. He gonna go tell his buddies, man, I saw this woman. I just paid for her gas. She told me she was married. Well, her husband gonna be happy that another dude took care of his woman for him without all the nonsense. What do you think, fellas?
Both parties have switched sides. Men now, a lot of men right now are crying out for women to submit to them, to be in good relationship with them, to treat them well when they don't have the character, the influence, the love, and the productivity that would hold her attention. Vice versa, women are doing the same thing. Women are saying, I'm not going to be kind to you. I'm not going to be loving. I'm not going to be the thing that you love the most, but I still want your provision. Right. Because I got the hot pocket. So both parties are tripping right now.
Yeah.
And the question that me and my brother was asking one another the other day, is it really now in this time of age that these women really want provision, or do they want to be irresponsible with their finances?
Is that?
He's talking about is that?
I got a question. Man, are we asking women this question? Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Well, when we do marriage counseling, we ask, do you want to be right or you want to be married? Right. Because I can win the argument and lose my marriage. Or I can realize that there's a greater issue, a bigger picture here that we need to address, and not who win. and essentially, because if one of us win, then that means the other person loses.
Yeah. Well, what I think is happening is, like you said, the goalpost has been moved. So, like the women now, like you said, they want to get the bag. And for instance, there was this basketball player where his wife divorced him and got all his money supposedly, but he just got a new huge contract, and they interviewed her and told her about it, and she was looking crazy because if she'd have stayed with him, that money would have been hers too. So instead of getting paid once, you'd have been getting paid continually throughout the marriage. But she didn't have that in mind. So now when she get 35, 40, and she's still alone, getting the bag wasn't cool then. It ain't gonna be cool then, because ain't nobody gonna want you then because your looks have waned. You done been with 47 different guys, and now nobody with that status gonna want you because you done been with everybody else.
Ooh.
So what do you do at that point? So you winning temporarily when you're young, but once you get older, they're not thinking things all the way through to its conclusion. And then you be out here saying there's no good men out here, and you 45 with 4 kids from 4 different dudes, and you'd have been married 5 times and divorced, took everybody's money, and mad because nobody don't want you.
But you picked that dude.
Let me ask you a question, brother. Do you believe that currently right now people are not playing the long game, they're playing the moment game? Let's say year to year, month to month, moment to moment. No one is saying, okay, no matter what happens, I'm going to be an engineer, you know, or like when we were kids, I'm going to be an astronaut, I'm going to be a doctor. Right. No one dreams of further down the road tomorrow. So in the relationship, they're not dreaming further down the road. Okay, after our kids are gone or after, you know, we get our first house, they're not planning life. They're living moment to moment. Do you believe that's part of the issue?
Of course.
Most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely. In relationship you see today, it's in the moment. If whatever I'm feeling today or feeling tomorrow, you know what, I'm done. I'm throwing the flag. I can't do it no more. And they see it every day when they see these videos and all this stuff, and they think because they getting it over here, guess what? I'm gonna do the same thing they doing. But you have to realize that this right here, once you jump in line, you're gonna have 10 women that you gotta beat out because it's 10 women to 1 man. And once you jump back in line, you got to get at the end of the line, and you're gonna try to find that man you just left. That's what I don't understand, because in that moment you may be having an argument, disagreement, and you feel like I'm done, I can't do it no more. And then you go back out there, then you find Mr. Buttermilk. Mr. Buttermilk. The good thing, what you do with Mr. Buttermilk, let me tell you what they do with Mr. Buttermilk. They give Mr. Buttermilk the recipe. They said, well, you know, Brother Cornbread, he wasn't doing this. He didn't like to go to the movies. You know, he didn't like rubbing my feet. You know what I'm saying? He didn't like this and now Buttermilk here, the recipe. So guess what? The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start rubbing your head.
Yep.
Oh, he don't like rubbing your feet. You know what? This movie just came out. Don't you want to see that? I'm going to take you to everything you just told me what he wasn't doing because you gave me the recipe. You could have gave your man that same recipe and still been in your relationship.
Facts.
But that's the problem called communication. Facts. You won't communicate with him. He paying bills and doing right and trying to be a man, but you keep demonizing him and letting him grab this. You keep grabbing him when you don't supposed to be grabbing him at, because he don't feel like he can stand up as a man and say, listen, baby, enough is enough. This house needs to move in a different direction. And first thing you said, you ain't going to control me because this. And then you got a best friend say, girl, you got to know your worth. And she's single. See, that's where you mess up. You got a single. You need to know your worth. Well, you need to know your worth. You ain't got nobody. See, that's the problem we always listen. We listen to somebody who out of shape, ain't in shape, and gonna tell us how to be in a good relationship that's supposed to be in shape. Shut your mouth and get out of my relationship. And allow us to work through what we need to work through. But you got to have the proper queen with you who ain't got to tilt the crown. When she got to tilt the crown, she won't understand the relationship. But when it's on the center of her head, she said, okay, me and my baby may be going through something right now. But guess what? I'm going to take 2 steps back, so I'm going to be quiet because I know he's feeling something quiet. He don't mean what he's saying right now, and I'm not going to take it to heart. I'm just going to let him calm down, and I'm going there and rubbing his. We can be fussing. Watch this. We can be fussing, carrying on. She can grab your hand and say, in the name of Jesus, Lord, I thank you for this great man. He's just loving and so kind. And guess what we're going to do? Amen. We're going to melt down. We're going to melt down. See, a woman can bring some kind of smooth, it's just like almost like coffee, add a little cream and sugar, and then next thing we know, we looking at her saying, I want to huff and I want to puff and I want to blow your house down.
I can't deal with you, Dre. I can't. Did Dre say?
this is what I tell them, Dre. This is what I said. I said, think about this. Don't tell me what you can't get your man to do. God and Adam walked together in the Garden of Eden. God and Adam was homeboys. God told Adam to do something. Eve came behind God and told Adam to do what God told him not to do, and he did what Eve said.
Yes, he did.
So don't tell me how you can't get your man, persuade your man to do what he want, what you need him to do.
Right. Yeah, you ain't doing something